Let's talk about physics lab. This video is particularly useful to those of you sitting for physics in UTME or SSCE. And you must have noticed that in the classroom, we referenced physics lab in some of our videos. And the goal here is to show you how you can get a physics lab and how you can make the most of it. First, I need to talk about why the physics lab exists. It exists for two main reasons. The first reason is for those of you sitting for physics practicals in WAEC, the physics lab will prepare you adequately for the exam because the physics lab is designed to make you simulate physics experiments the way you are expected to carry out those experiments in WAEC. Then the second reason why you need a physics lab is there are some concepts in physics that they are very abstract. If you don't have a visual feel of that topic. So the goal of physics lab in this case is to give you a better understanding of those topics in physics. So even if you are not writing physics practicals, it's very useful for those of you sitting for UTM because with the knowledge from physics lab, you'll be able to understand some topics better, and that will boost your score in physics paper. So let's talk about how you get the physics lab. So this physics lab is available to those of you that must have updated your app. So the latest update has this menu known as Physics Lab. So you can see we have this new menu named Physics Lab. If you click on it, you'll see Physics Lab. So the menu name is Virtual Lab. So if you click on it, you'll see Physics Virtual Lab. Now, when you click on Physics Virtual Lab, if you already have it installed, it's going to open the app. So this is lab is like a separate app that you need to install, but it is absolutely free. So it's free. You don't need to activate, you don't need to pay for anything. So it's an app that we built in collaboration with some research institute and is designed specifically for those of for O-level exams like SSC and UTM. Okay, so since I've not installed it, I will go to Google Play. And once I go to Google Play, I will be asked to install it. All I need just do is install. It's very lightweight. It's less than 20 MB, so it's very light. So I'm done installing it. All I need is just to click open, and here we have it. So this is the physics lab. If you go back to, let's say, the UTME app, and you try to open it again, you'll see that it will just open right away. So it will not ask you to install since you have already installed it. And for those of you with SSC app, you can also get it by just clicking this virtual lab. Once you click virtual lab and you click open, it's going to open it. So so this is for SSC and for UTME users. Okay, now that we've opened the physics lab, how do you make the most of it or how do you use it? So there are two main menus or two main features. We have the apparatus and experiment. Under apparatus, you get to experience physics apparatus and also learn how to read them. There are questions in physics, both in SSC and in WAEC, where it sometimes asks you to read from apparatus. So this will help you know how to read from apparatus. So let's click on apparatus. So the apparatus a menu lists the apparatus based on what they measure. So we have the length, so vernier caliper, micrometer, screw gauge, they are used for measuring length. We have mass, spring balance is used for measuring mass. We have volume, measuring cylinder, eureka cylinder, beaker, they are used for volume. Stopwatch for time, electricity. We have all of this for electricity. Then we have temperature and we have prism. So I'll quickly just show you one or two. Let's say two apparatus there, you can explore the rest yourself. So let's take a look at micrometer screw gauge. Okay, now that I've opened the micrometer screw gauge, here you are going to see three main tabs: intro, explore, and quiz. So here, under intro, you get to learn about micrometer screw gauge, all the various parts, and precautions that you need to take when measuring from micrometer screw gauge. This information is important for those of you that will be writing physics experiment because sometimes in your question, they may tell you to list precautions carried out. So you can get a lot of those precautions from this from the instrument you are using during the experiment. Now let's go to explore. Explore is a very interesting aspect. Under explore, you can see how how the instrument is being measured or how it works. So let's say I want to position the micrometer screw gauge at 2.7 millimeter. So this is it. So when you move this slider, it moves the micrometer screw gauge. It's like you moving the micrometer screw gauge to a particular reading. Now you can zoom in by just using your finger to pinch or to zoom into your screen, and that will allow you to zoom into the apparatus. And you can zoom to any level, so there's no end to the zooming. So and it does not pixelate, or it does not get blurred when you zoom. So you can see how you can measure. So basically what this measurement here is telling us that this current value is 3.7. So you can slide it however you want. You can also slide it with small steps by clicking on the plus or minus. Then you can download or share this image with anyone. And for teachers, this is also useful because you can export a particular reading and use as your question for your students. Okay, let's go to quiz. After exploring and learning how to read a micrometer screw gauge, you can go to quiz and test yourself, right? You can go to quiz, click start, and a question will be displayed for you to answer. You can zoom as usual, but this time around, you'll be asked to answer what the current reading is. In this case, I may decide that, okay, the current reading here is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be 4. And let's check. So the answer is actually 4. So you can go to the next question, answer the next question until you are sure you can get all 15 questions. Okay, so that's under the micrometer screw gauge. You can go to, let's check another one. So let me check triangular prism. Under the triangular prism, you can go to the explore section, zoom in to see how the light moves. So basically, light goes on this side of the prism and comes out here. Now I can move this bar to change the angle of incidence. By changing the angle of incidence, I can see the point at which we have total internal reflection. So this is very cool because you get to see how total internal reflection really looks like in real life. Because in real life, what's going on here is the light bends. There's a particular value of there's a particular angle of incidence that results in the light bouncing back within the triangular prism. So this is a great way to understand total internal reflection, and you can see the angle, the critical angle where this happens. Okay, so let's backtrack. So let's go to uh experiment. So now that we've explored what you get under apparatus, let's take a look at experiment. Under experiment, when you click on this, you get to see the topics where we have experiments. Altogether, we have 40 experiments, and these experiments, they are based on O-level syllables like NECO, WAEC, IGCSE, and likes. And we made sure that almost every topics in WAEC experiment are covered and even beyond. So let's take a look at what it looks like. So under each topic, you have subtopic. You have the experiment 1 to 10 or 12, depending on the topic. So under mechanics, you have experiment 1 up to experiment 12. And experiment 1 is all about simple pendulum. Experiment 2 is all about elastic property of solid, and so on and so forth. So if you go through all these experiments, you must have there is almost no question that I could say that you will not have practiced, right? Okay, so I'm just going to take you through a few of them just to give you an idea of how it basically works. So I will let me just take the simple pendulum and let me show you how you can actually carry out experiments right within physics lab. Now let's take a look at this experiment under mechanics. That's simple pendulum. So here's how we structured the app for each experiment. For each experiment, you have the setup, settings, theory, and results. Now that's this setting, this theory, this result. What do you have under setting? A setup. Setup is where we give you a breakdown of what the experiment is all about, the diagram, the procedures, and so on. Settings is where you can change the default setting of the experiment. Now, since this is a virtual lab, you can change the property of the items you are working with. So let's say, for example, the default is that the meter rule is 100 centimeter. That's 1 meter. You can decide to use a meter rule of maybe 50 centimeters or 200 centimeters. So this is where you can change the default setting. The theory is where we give you some notes on what the concept is all about. Because for every experiment, there's an equation or some concept you need to know for you to fully understand that experiment. So theory is where you can go through the theory around that experiment. Then result is where you get to see your result history for that particular experiment. So let's go back to setup. So we have objective. Objective is what's the objective of this experiment? Every experiment has some sort of goal. There's something they need you to achieve, right? And that's what we are outlining here. So the objective here is that we want to use this experiment to determine acceleration due to gravity using simple pendulum. This is the diagram, the experimental diagram, right? And these are the apparatus that you're expected to have. And these are the procedure, or these are the steps to be taken. Now, this procedure, they are similar to how WAEC do state their procedures. When you want to state procedures in physics experiment, you show step by step what to do. That is how, in this case, you tie the thread from the bulb to the clamp. You adjust the thread. So it's step by step on exactly how you would carry out this experiment in a physical lab. So what this means is, for those of you that have physical lab, for schools with physical lab, this app is also a way for you to have your physics manual. So this is basically a manual for carrying out this experiment in a physical lab. Then we also give you a list of precautions to take note of. And that's important for those of you sitting for the physical practical, because you may be asked to list precautions for some experiments. Then we provide what we call the principle. The principle. So the principle is like a derivation of the equation that eventually forms the graph you're going to plot. So that's under setup. Then settings. I've talked about settings, I've talked about theory and result. So let's look at the simulation. Okay, for this particular experiment, now you can see the lab. So this is the place where you actually carry out the experiment. Okay, so this is the lab. This is where the experiment interface is. Now, what are the things you can do here? You can, from the steps here, the first step is to set the height of the thread, right? So the height of the thread, if you click on this, you'll be able to do that from this. So this bar, this allows you to adjust the parameter or the setting of the experiment. Then after using this to set the experiment, you can use this to start. So for this particular experiment, the goal is to allow oscillation, is to allow the bulb to oscillate for some seconds. That is, basically, you are allowing the bulb to oscillate for uh, 10 times or 20 times, as the case may be, and record how long it takes for that oscillation to happen. So let's click. Once it counts down, it's going to allow you to count. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So after the 10th um oscillations, you stop. Then you check the time it took for that 10 oscillation to happen. Now, to get the time, this is your stopwatch here. So you can zoom into the stopwatch to see exactly where it stopped. So it stopped around this 10, 11, 12, 13. So about 13.5, right? About 13.5 seconds. So now that we know that the time it took for 10 oscillation is 13 is 13.5 seconds. So what do you do with that information? You go to readings. Under readings, you set the time it took for a given length. So what that means is, if for a length of 20 centimeter, you perform that oscillation, you count the time it takes to run through 10 oscillations. Then you record the time. So if, for example, it's 13.5, you enter 13.5. Then you repeat that experiment just to be sure of your value. Then if you got the same time, you record it, then you take the average. Then eventually you calculate the period. So the period is the time for one oscillation, which is 13.5 divided by 10. So then you now square the value of t, and that's how you take a reading. So this is just for reading one. When L is 20, then you change the length to 40. So what I mean by changing the length is you change the length to 40. Mind you, I didn't set it to 20, so this is just some random value. So you change length to 20 or 40. So let's say, okay, this one is 40. So you go to this, you change to 40, and you repeat this experiment and record the time it took. And you do the same for 60, for 80, and for a length of 100. So that's how you go about taking readings. After taking readings, you go to graph. So graph is where you plot the graph. So the graph we're meant to plot is a graph of t squared against L. So t squared against L. So what that means is t squared on the y-axis and L on the x-axis. Now I'm going to show you in a later video how to plot graphs on within uh, a physics lab. So that will be a separate video. But basically, it's all about checking the values here and filling in the title, the x, and so on. Then plotting the graphs. You pick this and you plot the graphs, something like this. So the way it works is I'll just plot it somehow like this. Then after plotting, then I'll draw my line of best fits. So I'll take this pencil and draw my line of best fits. Then after drawing my line of best fits, I do other things and I get my result. So, but I'll talk about that in detail in a later video. And after which I'll answer some questions based on my graph. Then I'll submit. After submission, okay, so after submitting, you'll see detailed results. So the detailed result will show you the correct values for all the questions, for all the table, and so on. Okay, so this is how you get to carry out experiments within the physics lab. And there are quite a number of experiments, right? So this is just for physics. We have for optics, we have for electricity, we have for heat and wave. So there are quite a number of them. There's almost no topic that we didn't cover as regard WAEC syllabus and UTME syllabus.